All right. I need to get me one of these myself. This is actually David's. Funny story. He acted like I didn't know how to use this whenever I told him what I was going to do. And he's like, what? Acting like I don't know what I'm doing. When we worked for Gary's Tree Service, I was his main hedge trimmer guy because I was the best at it. And, you know, anyways, I don't know. It's kind of funny because Dave is, I guess in his words, hinky about letting other people use his equipment. But yeah, he doesn't mind tearing up other people's equipment, like mine. He's tore up like a bunch of my equipment. My mom says he's not allowed to use any of her equipment because he tears it up. But yet, he is afraid for me to use his hedge trimmer because he thinks I don't know how to use it. Goes back to what I was saying in the last video about projection. But anyways, what I'm gonna do today is clear brush. I'm gonna use this to clear the smaller brush so I can get to the bigger brush and work on clearing a fence line for a third goat yard back here that I asked David to do 5 years ago. So he started doing it, but he never finished it, and so I'm tired of waiting on him. I should have done this a long time ago. But anyways, these are great hedge trimmers. This is the replacement brand to the one that Gary had. Gary's Tree Service up in Kansas City. But basically this is the second yard, and I want the third yard to be over here west of the pond and go all the way back to the other side of the dry creek. And then we'll have a path over there where we can walk, but there's some blackberries over there I want to salvage. And I'll put goat panels or cattle panels around it so the goats can't destroy it. Only the babies will be able to get into the cattle panels and eat inside. But then the older goats will be able to eat around the outside. So they'll keep it trimmed for me, but they won't be able to actually kill my blackberry patch. It's a wild blackberry patch, but it's a good wild blackberry patch. So I'm trying to salvage those. And like I said, I'll put cattle panels around them to preserve them. Anyways, so that's what I'm working on now. And then I'll be working on the south fence line. So I'm working on putting another goat yard here. And then I'll work on putting some goat yards up front. And then I'll work on the south property line. Bat cat. All right, here's the link.
There's a reason why the only people you hear screaming at you, the only people who get like really, really angry about you not wearing a mask in order to protect their health, they're always 100% of the time the least healthy people you've ever seen. They're always overweight, they drink a lot, they smoke, they don't exercise, they're sedentary. This is all projection. Everything you see is projection. And I think a lot of that occurs on this side too, with all these people who have this savior complex. They're always the type of people who do nothing to save themselves. They're always the type of people who will dole out advice and never take any of their own advice. It's not just we're walking around all good, sweet, and wonderful people, and there's just these evil people trying to take us down. There's so much evil in this world because we allow it, we perpetuate it, and we are that evil. We, every evil, horrible thing we see happening in the world, we are all capable of on some level. Now that we've had some time to process the events in Ukraine.
Okay, anyways, before it was playing on a loop. I don't know why I didn't loop this time. Let me go back.
Now that we've had... There's a reason why the only people you hear screaming at you, the only people who get like really angry about you not wearing a mask in order to protect their health, they're always 100% of the time the least healthy people you've ever seen.
Maybe not 100,
they're always
but
overweight.
majority.
They drink a lot. They smoke. They don't exercise. They're sedentary. This is all projection. Everything you see is projection. And I think a lot of that occurs on this side too, with all these people who have this savior complex. They're always the type of people who do nothing to save themselves. They're always the type of people who will dole out advice and never take any of their own advice. It's not just we're walking around all good, sweet, and wonderful people, and there's just these evil people trying to take us down. There's so much evil in this world because we allow it, we perpetuate it, and we are that evil. We, every evil, horrible thing we see happening in the world, we are all capable of on some level.
Okay, I still didn't play the loop, but I'm not sure why. It was doing it for me earlier. But anyways, so that's basically what it boils down to, projection. All right, bye. All right, this is the other end. So basically, this is our trail here, and that's the that's the kitchen area over there. And that's a pond over there. And like I said, it's a dry creek right here. So I want the goat yard to come out to right about here somewhere. This is a pecan tree, so I definitely don't want to cut it out. So what I'll probably do is have the goat yard come out to about here. So, okay, there's the fence line. The fence line comes basically right here. So this is the big blackberry patch that I love, but it's not managed. It's not manageable. So I'd like to make it manageable, and so that's why I'm trimming it back. But first, I'm going to trim a path through here for the fence, and so basically, yeah, it'll come straight through here, and then probably bend around here somewhere, and then go this way. I'll have to cut those blackberries out, and that one. And it'll basically, ow. See, that's why I want the hedge trimmer. But anyways, it'll go, I'm gonna go over there. I'll probably go to the edge of the pond and start trimming this way. And then I'll connect the dots. So basically, I'm gonna come out to this cedar tree here. And then go over. So I think that yard will be all the way over here somewhere. But we'll find out. Ow. And then there might be room for another yard. Say a fourth goat yard back in here. But who knows? We'll see whenever we get done. It's probably not big enough for a fourth goat yard, but you know, we'll probably do something back in here, just not sure what. So that's my game plan. I want a third goat yard back here. This is where we were supposed to do it. several years ago, and it never got finished. So once I get it trimmed out, I'm gonna hire this one guy to come out. He already gave me a bid on the south property line. I'm gonna hire him to do this, so it won't take another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years to get done. It'll be done in, like, say, maybe a few months. So, and then I'll put cattle panels around these guys to keep them protected from the goats. And then I'll still have my blackberries. And so will the goats. The goats will be able to eat them, but they won't eat them all the way back. But yeah, these ones that get real tall, like 6, 7, 8 foot tall, those are the good ones. They get really fat stalks. They're very sweet. The shorter ones are more bitter, and they're okay, but bitter and sour. But these ones are the best, and so I want to salvage them the best that I can. And there's some more in the field. So anywhere I see these, I'm gonna put cattle panel rings around them to keep them protected, and so I can cultivate them. Another thing I'm going to do too in the goat yards is grow certain herbs that are anti-parasite herbs in also rings like that, so the goats can have medicine growing wild for them, just like I would want to do for myself. So anything that will grow here anyways, that's what I'll grow. Bat cat. All right, bye.